Welcome everyone. We already talked about material and literature that you need if you want to study architecture. Today we will dive into the great world of architecture software. I will show you the workflow of an architect in 4 different ways. In these cases I assume that we are talking about a complete building project from A to Z. This includes the design as well as approval and implementation planning and AAE, which stands for Announcement, Allocation and Evaluation. This way is the most inefficient way in my examples, but sadly it's very common among architecture offices here, even in 2018. The reason for this is that many architects are simply used to their software and workflow and they aren't open for learning a new software. So we start with a sketch and we take it to the digital level. You draw your floor plans and your sections and elevations and side plans in your 2D, CAD or CAD software. You're doing announcement, allocation and evaluation with Office software, and you have no visualizations or you outsource your renderings to a special company. This one is extremely common too, and it is also very inefficient. Again, it all begins with a sketch and drawings in a 2D or CAD software. But now you're also having a modeling software to build a 3D model of your building. Maybe this software has an integrated render engine or you're using a separate standalone render software for visuals. You take the data from the 2D and 3D software to calculate AAE in a specific AAE software. Your plan layout is made in your 2D software. In this case we have 2 new components. The sketches are now rebuilt in a BIM software, where you directly build in 3D, but you're using a separate modeling software with render engine to create your visualizations. You also have a professional AAE software which can directly import the data from your BIM software. You're also using an external graphics software to brighten and lay out your plans. This way is much more efficient than way number 1 and way number 2. Because the BIM software is like having a 2D CAD software and a 3D modeling software at once. BIM also indicates that you can easily transfer data to other architecture-specific softwares. BIM software is able to create layouts and to play around with textures and stuff in your plans. But it is limited. Graphics software is the best way to get your stuff beautiful. If you're watching my videos since quite a while, you should probably know how my architectural workflow is. I do not dare to say that it is the best, because this is obviously a matter of taste and of experience. But I can surely say that this workflow is pretty fast and efficient. It all starts with the sketch again and building your model in your BIM software. You're using the internal AAE solutions of your BIM software as well as the integrated render engine. But you're using a graphics software for the final layouting. And that's it. No other programs are used here. Most BIM softwares do have integrated methods for mass calculation, price calculation, task and time management, integration of building services and so on. Most of them are also able to run one of the best render engines available as integrated add-ons. Another pro for BIM software is the fact that you save a lot of money because you're having an all-round solution. One big upcoming field in architecture is parametric design. Unfortunately, BIM softwares are quite limited in dealing with that, but there are specialized software solutions which support seamless transfer to BIM software. Some examples for 2D CAD softwares are AutoCAD and CADWork. 3D modeling softwares are 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, SketchUp and Cinema 4D. You should all know Office software like Word and Excel, which is often used to do the AAE stuff. The only specific AAE software that I know is Orca, but you will maybe get to know one of these when you're working in the office. You know that I'm working with ArchiCAD, which is a BIM software solution, but there are also some other BIM programs on the market, for example Revit, Allplan, Vectorworks or Tekla. For parametric design, Rhino and its add-on Grasshopper surely is the number one on the market. There are two types of render engines at the market, the standalone programs and the add-ons. Standalone programs are Lumion, Twinmotion, Octane or the Unreal Engine 4, which is free to use. The render engine add-ons are available for almost every BIM or modeling software that are listed before. There are V-Ray, Maxwell, Corona, Octane or CineRender, which I use in ArchiCAD. But V-Ray or Corona Render are probably the best ones. But this is also a matter of experience and taste. The most known graphic software are the ones from Adobe. You might all know Photoshop or InDesign and Illustrator. But there's also Sketchbook Pro, which I use. That is from Autodesk and it's very similar to Photoshop. My big advice to emergent architects is to learn a BIM software from the early days on. You also should be able to master Photoshop or Illustrator and one of the render engines. Parametrical architecture is the future, so knowing Rhino will be a strong advantage for you during your time at architecture school and of course after it, if you're willing to apply for some bigger architecture offices. The last thing I want to say is that you really should know your software, no matter which one. So many architecture offices work with the BIM software, but they are using it as it was just 2D CAD software. Many do not know that they don't need to pay extra licenses for AAE because ArchiCAD, Revit and Co are capable of doing these things very well, and the best thing, if you're working in one program, you avoid mistakes. Transferring data manually into other softwares is one of the biggest sources of errors. I hope you got a rough overview of what architects are doing and working with, and I also hope that this video will be an advice to all the young people out there that will be architects in a couple of years, to be more clever than the people before you. Use your chance and get yourself advantages through knowing your software well. Next time I will philosophize about skills, so stay tuned and most of all, stay creative. Thank you for watching.